You know how we rip on Arkansas?
Yeah.
Or at least we did that one time because they suck. Joe Rogan.
Only
I only get
man
my news
telling
from
it like
Ben
it is.
Shakira. Isn't there a scene where they're like driving in the car and the Babadook's just like beating the shit out of the car? Whew. Welcome back to Jackson's car.
Jackson's car corner is my favorite corner.
Yeah, the corner in which today...
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, no, this is Jackson's heat stroke corner.
This is today is Jackson's heat stroke corner. I'm sitting in my car without the AC on because I don't have enough gas to do that and get back to work for the rest of my shift. So instead, I am sitting here in a hot car time.
Something hot boxing joke.
Heat stroke. Today we are in a McDonald's parking lot because the truck stop parking lot I was initially going to use, you had to pay for the Wi-Fi, so I have gone to the place with free Wi-Fi, and I'm in their parking lot instead.
There you go. Honestly, I hate places that make you pay for Wi-Fi, because it's like, come on. Even if it's just like super shitty Wi-Fi, make it free, you know? If
Exactly.
It's good Wi-Fi, sure. I can see having like your trash Wi-Fi, and then you could pay to use the good Wi-Fi. But like,
yeah, maybe like pay for like a speed upgrade.
Yeah, and that's fine. I get that. I respect that. That's good capitalism, you know? But
No such thing.
No such thing? My mistake. As all capitalism, it is bad. However, it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. It's the whole thing.
So Noah, how I've been gone. I have not had Wi-Fi for a month now, as of today, and it will be 2.5 months until I get it again.
Which is absurd.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely atrocious.
You would think in current year that would not be a problem, but apparently it is.
Yeah, it's just that the Spectrum doesn't have to care.
Yeah.
Because there's no one to compete with them.
Don't say that, because Spectrum's who I have to go through to get mine turned back on.
Well, the thing is, like, there is no one else that we can get as an internet provider in my area. So if Spectrum has to do something, they don't care about how long it takes, because if we want internet, we have to pay them. No matter what. There's no, like, incentive to be better.
Wow. I hate when stuff like that happens. And it doesn't happen very often, luckily. But, like, it happens often enough that it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, sorry for all the times that I will be opening my door and you will hear truck stop sounds.
That's okay.
I cannot survive in this car. I am currently sweating like crazy. So I will open the door frequently to allow myself to survive.
That's okay. It'll just make Edge feel like home whenever she's listening later.
Gotta love truck stop time.
Right? I had a trucker come into work today. I gave him a haircut, and he complained about truck stops not having barbers anymore. And I never knew truck stops had barbers.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Right? I mean, I guess it makes sense in hindsight, but like, in the moment, I was blown away at the idea of, oh my gosh, built-in clientele. Boom. You just set up at a truck stop and be like, yeah, I'll give you a buzz cut.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does make sense. But I wonder why they stopped.
I don't think it's like a national stop thing. I think it's just like not as common anymore. Kind of like it's how it's harder to find a truck stop with like a good restaurant in it, and it's more like fast food now.
Yeah, that is true. It's all just like, yeah, there's not really like truck stop diners as much. Oh shit, if this guy pulls in, I won't be able to open my door because his car will be so close to mine. You
should open your door as a power move right now.
No, he pulled through. Oh,
thank goodness.
Okay. So yeah, I won't have Wi-Fi till the end of the semester. So I will be. You look forward to no more beer corners until then, functionally, and a lot of Jackson's car recording.
Because realistically, I feel like it would be a very bad idea to do a beer corner in your car. I think it's it might even be illegal. Yeah.
Unless I don't have my keys in the vehicle and it's turned off, then I can do it.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a terrible idea, because eventually it's going to be cold. I mean, honestly, once we get to that point, like, we can meet up somewhere and both record on site.
It's on site.
It's on site.
It's on site. So I think that I should just I should really lean into it. Well, you can hear like the of my arm as I'm moving it off of the armrest because I am very sweaty and it's hot in my car. So that's cool. I'm making cool sounds. I feel like I should lean into the bit and I should just start recording in weird places.
There you go.
Like, I feel like I should just record like in like Walmart,
a Denny's bathroom, you know, weird spots.
Not like a Denny's bathroom, because I feel like you can't record. Yeah, you can't like get the Dr. Disrespect treatment.
Oh, that's right. That's actually also illegal.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Oops.
No, you're bad at suggestions.
I am bad at suggestions.
Maybe I'll just like go record places. Like just go record weird places.
Hey, why not, right? It's a good bit.
It's a good bit. It's just the only problem is the logistics of recording weird places, because none of them can really be outside in this area, except for the next like month or so. I could get away with it, but then once like the snow starts falling in November, you really can't, record outside.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound like something you want to have to deal with.
to think it up. But speaking of going different places and doing things, you went to Seattle over the weekend.
I did go to Seattle over the weekend. It was a really nice time. It was really nice. While I was there, I went to a Mongolian barbecue, which I'd never been to one before, even though Erie has like one.
It's true, they do. It's very good.
And I just had never gotten my food prepared in that spot. You know, I always went to the buffet that was connected to it.
You're missing out. That was the Mongolian barbecue. What's that place called? Because I have not been there in obviously years.
Imperial, I believe, was the one that we always used to go to from time to time, you know?
Yeah, it's like in Erie. It's like near the Bayfront, right? Is it near the Bayfront? I have no idea where it is.
I was thinking of the one on Peach Street that was like a Chinese buffet with Mongolian grill.
Oh, yeah, maybe there's a couple of Mongolian grills in Erie then.
There might be, because there's another one in Harbor Creek
is that
I also never used.
Isn't that the unlimited sushi place?
Yes.
That place slaps.
It is honestly pretty good for buffet sushi. I don't mind it at all. But
yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
While I was there, I saw It Chapter 2.
Okay.
Which, I'm going to be honest, I left. I wasn't too happy. And then I listened to 3 different podcasts talk about it. And I like it more now.
I heard that Pennywise is homophobic.
Yeah, Pennywise.
Is that true?
Pennywise sees gay guy getting beat up, and then, now, big spoiler alert for the first scene of the movie, Jackson, but
okay.
He kills the gay guy. He does not beat up the homophobes. Which I don't know why people were surprised about this, because
he does eat people. That's like his whole thing.
He eats children. I don't think he's going to be taking a moral high ground anywhere.
Yeah, no, I do love that. The I had seen people complaining about that, and then obviously the majority response is, "Bruh, he eats people."
Exactly.
So I think it's definitely a minority that's complaining, but it's a minority that has such a strange opinion that it just becomes like public, like the flat earthers. It's a minority for sure.
The opinion, though, is that, like, it became a big thing shipping Pennywise and, like, the Babadook. You remember the Babadook, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people went off about how the Babadook was, like, an LGBT icon for whatever reason. I don't remember why.
I hated that movie, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
It was so dumb.
That's valid.
Yeah, like, the entire movie is basically just, like, some kid screaming, and I hate it.
Yeah. The kid was a good kid actor, I think.
He just screamed.
His acting was literally just him screaming. There were rough moments, and the first time I saw it, I did not understand the ending. I was very annoyed. I
turned it off after about an hour and a half, so I did not watch the end.
Yeah, no, the end was the real Babadook was the sadness inside us all along. Like, that was actually the ending.
Yeah, but didn't it, like, break their car, like, roof at one point?
No, he trashed their freaking life. And it turns out that everything he did was, like, the mom, kind of.
Yeah, but, like, isn't there a scene where they're, like, driving in the car and the Babadook's just, like, beating the shit out of the car?
No.
Maybe I'm just remembering that. I don't know why.
It sounds like a nice scene. I wish that was the movie.
The real Babadook was the friends we made along the way.
Mm-hmm. The real Babadook was the husbands who died along the way. Because that's why she was sad. Her husband died.
Her husband was the Babadook.
Yeah.
That we made along the way.
It's true. It's revealed in the post-credits scene where Tony Stark and Nick Fury were like, Mr. Babadook, we would like to recruit you for the Avengers Initiative. And the Babadook was just like, ah.
And then he was like, it turns out this is why we're all Avengers Age of Ultron.
Exactly. Well,
man,
I feel like bits.
Yeah, that's all I got. This is the end of the episode. But you know what I got to talk about before we end the episode?
What do you got?
The Audible. You can go.
I don't think I can spend 50 minutes of content out of audibletrial.com/off the air.
Well, but you know how much content you can get out of Audible?
I mean, you can get hours.
Literally
upon
thousands
hours.
of hours.
Thousands of hours of audiobooks for free if you use the code audibletrial.com/off the air. I mean.
And get like a really big book that is thousands of hours long. Because you really only get one book for free and then it's a subscription service.
Mm-hmm. But if
that one book happens to be really, really long, boom.
Yeah, game the system.
And I gotta say, so let's say you don't want to pay for Audible, but you want to get a free audiobook. You can just do that. You know, if you like get one audiobook and you're like, I only ever read one book, sorry. And then you can cancel your subscription and the book is still there.
Yeah, you get to
your audiobooks are your audiobooks.
Other
your
subscription services anymore. Because, if you went to like Netflix, for example, and you're a devout Netflix user, you subscribe to them for years and years and years. None of those movies belong to you. It's really weird. In fact,
not Audible.
one might say it's unfair. And that's where Audible steps in and actually lets you keep the book.
It's pretty dope. In fact, I actually re-listened to a book that I had almost initially gotten, that I talked about like forever ago, which is How to Ruin Everything by George Watsky. Listen to that again. Still really great.
There you go.
Holy shit. I am so sweaty. I should go back to work after this.
Oh, no. Whew. Sounds to me like you're going to go and you're just going to walk right into the freezer and just hang out there for a little while.
Yeah, I'm going to be in the beer cooler stocking or whatever.
Jackson, you've been stocking that beer cooler for an hour.
Oh, I forgot to mute my mic when I shut my car door this time.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's part of that Jackson's Car ASMR treatment.
It's part of the Jackson's Car SMR treatment. So, audibletrial.com/off the air. No, do you still play the music whenever you do that plug?
We haven't done the plug in a while.
Really?
So I guess I could kick it in like right about now.
Okay. How many episodes have I missed?
I think you've only missed 2.
Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it was the one with, last week was me, Dan, and Dave, and I feel so bad about that, because I don't know what happened to Dave's mic, because we could hear him fine the whole time, but whatever happened to the recording, his mic fizzled out real hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, luckily, it's not like his mic, it's Elise that, you heard about the internship he was doing, right?
Nope.
Oh, he was interning with some guys.
I do not know who Dave is.
Oh, he was the guest on the podcast that you didn't have anything to say about because you hadn't met him before.
Yeah, it's true.
You might have watched JoJo with him.
Maybe.
Or it might have just been Brian and Edge. I can't quite remember. But anyway, yeah, so if memory serves, the guys that he was interning with for a Twitch channel had sent him a mic and a face cam. So luckily that is the mic that's giving him issues, not his. So, small blessings.
Small blessings. But yeah, my mic's been kind of weird. I need to probably get a new one or fix it, but don't have money, so that's cool.
That's a mood. I need to expand my audio setup so that I can have 2 microphones.
We should just get a studio, and then off the air becomes localized, and then we get Dan to move here, and then we just have all of us in the studio.
It's not a bad idea.
Thank you.
I have this this vision of my downstairs neighbors moving out, and for some reason, Dan and Michelle move in here, and they're my downstairs neighbors. You can move into my spare room, and in my living room, we'll set up a studio, and then we can sit around a table and pretend that we're Joe Rogan. Boom.
I would never want to pretend I'm Joe Rogan, not gonna lie.
No. You can pretend that you're his guest, or
pretend I'm Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, there we go. We can even get you the same microphone.
Wow, then I'll be set for life.
I know, right? You'll be
In case you've heard all that crazy revving sound, it is from a PT Cruiser.
I'm sorry, that's a PT Cruiser?
Yeah, I think it's having some major issues.
Yeah, it sounds like he needs to just calm down a little bit.
He's really cruising. Just PT cruising, dude.
Good lord.
Yeah, that's weird. I thought it was maybe a motorcycle or a sports car. Then I see it pulling by going 3 miles an hour, and it's a PT Cruiser. So good for them, I guess.
Well,
we stan.
I'm glad that PT Cruiser gets to kick off life like that.
I am too, actually. So what did you do in your trip to Seattle outside of getting Mongolian barbecue? Which is interesting that was your takeaway. You're hey, you know what I did? Mongolian barbecue.
Fair enough.
The best of Seattle.
So what I ended up doing was I was mostly just going to visit Nina, and she worked. So the first day I hung out at the coffee shop she works at, which is actually it's a coffee shop and bakery, and it's really nice. It's got some great food there. I had one of the best Reubens of my life. Fantastic. And then I went to go see It with her brother and her. We went, had a good time. And then she worked the next day as well. So instead, I ended up hanging out with her dad all day. But that seems like, it seems like less podcast-worthy content. We talked about travel and how to cook cow's tongue.
Well, I'm glad that those were the only 2 things you talked about for an entire day, but...
Yeah, I had several hours just to hang out with him. But yeah, I don't know. I do want to try cow's tongue someday.
I have had it in tacos before. It's pretty good.
Nice. It was on my list of things I wanted to try, and I just haven't gotten around to it because I don't have anywhere to buy it. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it probably would be kind of hard to get around here. Yeah, I can't really imagine anywhere you could just go buy cow's tongue.
He was saying he got his at the Asian market, and I don't think we have one in Erie, so...
I think there's a halal market, and I think that's about all we have in terms of, foreign markets. And I doubt they would have cow tongue there.
Yeah.
You never know. No, there is a kosher market, a big Jewish market downtown. So, again, they would not have cow's tongue, but just naming things now at this point. Yeah, that's all I got in terms of different food available to you in Erie. And maybe there is an Asian market. I just don't know. Maybe they just didn't tell me about it.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I haven't either. but that does not mean it's not there. You know what I think should make a comeback? Local butchers.
I would love if local butchers made a big comeback. Ooh, punching my microphone by accident.
No, I do think that is like impossible. But I like the idea.
Yeah.
I feel like the sound is getting louder as I get sweatier.
Ew, that's grody.
Yeah, I'm dripping right now.
I believe you. I wish you were like here so you could at least be sitting in air conditioning. But like by the time you got here, you would be late for work by the time you got back.
Yeah, you live like over an hour away from where I work.
I do still need to visit. Does your work ever hire live bands?
Yeah, most every weekend, Friday and Saturday.
Tight. Just see if we can get them to book me. And by me, I mean my band.
It's usually like, it's on like a small outdoor patio, so it's not really like rock or metal for the most part.
Ah, fair enough, honestly.
You're playing a show tonight, right?
I am playing a show tonight. Pretty excited about it, except for the part where I was just told that the show starts at 11 instead of at 9.
Oh, that's a pretty big deal.
It is a pretty big deal. That means I don't hit the stage till midnight, which I'm okay with if I hadn't made early morning Sunday plans based around the fact that I, was going to be home at a reasonable hour. Yeah,
that is pretty inconvenient. My sister is up in town for right now with her baby and her husband.
Oh, really?
So that's cool. We're going to breakfast tomorrow. But I work the first Sunday morning ever. I've worked every Sunday night for the last 4 months. Never worked a Sunday morning until tomorrow morning. It's the first Sunday I'll ever have to work in the morning. And it's the same Sunday I had plans. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's pretty neat. And then I worked like 12 hours today.
Yeah, that blows.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
As a little peek behind for everyone, Jackson is, obviously recording in the car. But when you mentioned going back to work, he really did mean that. He worked his full shift, and now he's back after this.
Yeah, I started work at 10 this morning. It is currently 4:41. Recording in my car, and I will finish recording and drive back to work. So, and then probably get out by like 11. So I definitely had better days. I think the pinnacle of this stream will be, though, when the McDonald's employees come out and tell me to leave. I think that'll be when we really reach peak Jackson in the car experience. And then, just every week from now on, we're just going to see where I can get kicked out of and how long we can record the podcast before I get kicked out.
That's pretty great. And if we finish the podcast episode, that means that we win.
Then I drink a beer in my car.
Every podcast episode finished without Jackson getting kicked out is a beer that we finish in the car.
That's not true.
That is contract.
That is 100% guaranteed to happen.
As we all know, no one ever lies on this show.
No one's ever lied on a podcast before.
Never. Every single thing that has ever been said on a podcast, gospel truth. That's why the only news source that I get my stuff from is Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. I only get my news from
like
Ben Shakira.
Ben Shakira. Do you hear his new thing that he's been trying to go off on?
No.
He was trying to say rap music isn't real music.
Yeah, I do remember that he is dumb. Mm-hmm. And apparently that has not changed.
No, it has not. It just keeps moving.
What does he think it is then?
I just heard that quote and I'm like, you know what? I have no desire to listen to the rest of this. I'm just going to make fun of him without needing to know any other information because I think that's enough.
Yeah, no, it is. But what does he categorize it as? Fake music?
I don't know.
Noise? Sound?
He sounds like the kind of guy that would categorize it as it's just a bunch of noise. But I think he's one of the guys that falls into the camp of it's just people talking on a beat. It doesn't count as music because there's no musical elements or something like that. And he'll probably try and say something about how, facts don't have feelings and you just need to yada yada yada, checkmate liberals.
Dude, liberals got checkmated so hard right there. Mm-hmm. No, that is very strange. Although I do remember, he has a pretty famous tweet from back in the day that was like, listening to Mozart. The fact that some people would listen to rap music instead of Mozart proves to me that this world is full of idiots.
Wow.
Have you ever taken your head out of your ass?
I don't think he has.
Because let me tell you, when you do that, the whole world changes.
I don't know, Jackson, when you tweet and you're already that far up your ass, I don't think you can get back out.
Yeah, it's true. Speaking of tweets, you should follow me on Twitter, at Jacksonium with 2 M's. I have never tweeted something that's not relevant and intelligent.
That's accurate.
For example, we're going to go to my most recent tweets. God, it is so hot in my goddamn car. Holy shit, okay, I'm good.
All right, I'm glad you're
I'm on my Twitter and it says I have not tweeted yet. So I guess I should get on that.
You haven't tweeted, huh?
I guess
well, if
not.
Jackson had tweeted, you know it would be good.
Man, how have I not tweeted yet?
I swear I've retweeted you before.
I guess you're delusional.
I guess
Facts don't care about your feelings. And
it's
facts
true.
are, I haven't tweeted yet.
Man, I've never had my feelings punched harder than this.
Is it? It's this episode. Is it coming out in October?
No, this is still a September episode.
Okay, never mind. Oh yeah, my most recent tweet has been 4 days. It's a classic. I'm gonna say it. The Masked Singer is just America guessing a celebrity's persona.
You know, yeah. See, you tweeted that, and that's you're not even kind of wrong.
No, it's like they're like, whoa, I can't believe Antonio Brown is the bear. You're like, yeah, guess he is, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't heard anything about The Masked Singer in a while. My coworker likes it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it looks kind of neat.
He was talking about it, and he's just like, oh, yeah, it's a pretty good time, bro, 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 bro. And I'm just like, feels weird, but okay.
Okay, my computer is running really hot, so if it does shut off, that's a risk I'm taking.
Hope it doesn't do that.
You know, it is like well over 100 degrees in my car. It's like a sauna in here. But yeah, no, the Masked Singer is silly to me because it really is just like celebrities putting on fursuits and then singing.
I don't know. I feel like America's better than this. I feel like we could.
I do not. I feel like we hit the nail on the head because I feel like the thing is, I'm saying that it's like guessing celebrities' personas, and you're also saying that it's like guessing celebrities' personas. But it's kind of like you're like, oh, they're guessing celebrities' personas, and I'm like, yeah, they're guessing celebrities' personas. I'm excited about it. I think it's great.
Yeah, you got me there.
I think we're saying the same thing, but different, inflections. I'm excited. I'm glad. I've always wanted to know that Antonio Brown was secretly a little polar bear cub. Again, I have no idea anything about the Masked Singer. But
was Antonio Brown on it?
I feel like maybe. I think that sounds right.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Maybe he won,
but
I don't know. Maybe he's just in the news all the time. I don't really know. That dude he'd be out here.
He really do be out here. Yeah. No, that he got talked about far too much at the barbershop for a few weeks.
Yeah, I kind of, I started, I was like, that guy's a clown. And now, you know what? I like him.
Do you?
Yeah, why not?
He's on trial for rape allegations right now.
Oh, really? Okay, so the only thing I know about him is that he was on football team and didn't show up, and that's not cool. And then I found out that he was, he tweeted at the Vancouver Canucks saying he was showing up to training camp, and I thought that was pretty funny. But I rescind my liking him, and now I think he's a jackass.
Yeah. See... If it had just been his football stuff, I could be in the same camp as you.
Yeah, from what I knew about him up until you told me that he was on trial for, allegations of unsavory varieties, I was like, man, that guy's pretty clowning. And no, he's on trial, and I'm like, I don't trust him. But I also don't condemn him until verdict is placed because, it's not, I don't know anything about the case at all, so.
Valid.
But not a fan.
No, validly not even.
That's a shame. I thought he's just a silly man on Twitter, but turns out, bad guy.
The more you know, unfortunately. You doing okay?
I'm real sweaty.
We can always wrap this early and then finish recording at a later time.
It is very, very hot in my car.
You want to do that?
No, never. We got half an hour in. We're not done yet. So, in terms of anime, I've been watching a little bit more than normal recently.
Okay, that's cool.
I caught up on a Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Which is pretty dope. The main characters, all three of the boys, are incredibly unlikable.
Nice.
It's one of those where it's kind of like, honestly, I feel like they've made the demons that are being slayed more likable than the boys slaying them. Except for my main man, Hog Wild.
What a good name.
It's not his real name. I've just named him that.
Oh.
His name's like Inosuke, but he wears a boar head on his face.
What a good outfit.
And he's just like he wears no shirt and is just a buff guy with a boar's head on his head. And he just screams. And then he gets depression.
Hog Wild. And
then there's also Lightning Lad. So I am unable to open my door now because I've been parked in. So
we cooking.
We cooking. That's all right. So, yeah, Hog Wild is my main man. And then there's also the electric boy who just cries and is useless, and I really don't like him. And then the main guy who is somewhat redeemable and just kind of also cries a lot.
Sounds like the show's about crying.
It's an emotionally charged series, I guess. And then there's a little sister who turned into a demon and sits in a box. So that's pretty sick.
Okay.
But she's a nice demon.
Is she helping them find the other demons that they kill?
Yeah, well, I mean, the demons kind of just show up because they're all super cocky. They're all like, yo, I'm the best. I'm about to kill these guys. And these guys are like, wait, actually, we're demon slayers. And they're like, shit, huh? It's
so
gonna be
that
like
kinda,
that.
it kind of feels like a One Punch in that regard.
Well,
Everyone just keeps showing
like,
up.
There aren't like the demon slayers. It's not like a government thing. Like they're not like the army or anything. And the demons aren't like destroying the world. There's just like they'll show up in a town and start like killing people. And so there's like a demon in a town every once in a while that's like killing people. So they're not like a huge problem that's like ending the world. Most people don't even believe in them or know they're real.
Wild.
So it's not like so it's kind of like a hard problem for the people to face. And so the demons a lot of times they're like real cocky and they're not really like worried about anything because they can only be killed by like the special swords the demon slayers use.
Yeah.
So like if they're just like walking downtown, they're like, oh shit, I'm immortal, it doesn't matter. And I if I had to guess, I imagine a lot of the demons don't even know about the demon slayers because they're just
they keep slaying.
They keep slaying. So, like, they just show up, and then the demons get really cocky, and they get caught, and then they get killed.
That really is how it be sometimes.
Cow. I am dripping now.
That is...
Like, officially. Before, I was, like, very sweaty. Now the sweat has started to drip onto, like, my shirt and pants.
So, like, we really can't hold off this recording until so that you don't die.
No. I'm just gonna turn on my car for just a minute.
Turn on the car, blast yourself with just a little bit of AC. Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit of AC. That makes a world of difference, but it's probably very loud, huh?
I can't hear it.
Really? That's good.
I mean, it might be different on the recording when I'm editing later, but I can't hear it for now, and that's what counts, right?
That is true. I can always give you like a couple seconds of silence so you can negate it out.
There we go. I feel like I had something that I was going to tell you about, something that I thought you were going to be interested in. Now,
was it maybe like as part of the Seattle trip?
No, I told you pretty much the whole Seattle trip. I didn't do much while I was there. I just kind of hung out with Nina the whole time, which for me was the best part of the Seattle trip. But once again, not very podcast worthy, so...
That is truly not very podcast worthy. No offense.
Mm-hmm. All right. I mean, I'm planning to visit Dan in November, but that's about all I've got.
Where does Dan even live these days?
He's back in Philly. He was out for a little bit, but he is now in his own place again, living his life, being a happy, happy man.
Yeah, I thought he was down in the south somewhere.
He was for a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Being still happy, but slightly less so.
And now he is back in the Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
You know how we rip on Arkansas?
Yeah.
Or at least we did that one time because they suck.
Oh, yeah.
One of my coworkers turns out is from Arkansas.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, unfortunate for her. And I was talking, I was like, yeah, she's not dead, she's from Arkansas. A fate worse than death. But we were talking about like states that are underrated, you know, which we will talk about here in a second. But she was like, ooh, Arkansas. And I was like, no, Arkansas sucks. And she's like, oh, I'm from there. I'm like, well, it still sucks. Reminds me of my favorite video of all time, which is like the InfoWars one with Caitlin Bennett, who, if you don't know who she is, don't worry about it. But she's like interviewing people on the street because everyone knows the best form of journalism is interviewing people on the street and then only editing in the opinions that fit with the agenda you're trying to project.
Right.
That's truly the highest form of journalism.
It's true.
That deserves a lot of credit on both sides. It's not like even a partisan thing. It's just like a terrible reporting tactic that you use to make yourself look smart and make the opposition look dumb. Anyway, she's like going to people and being like, what would you say to this person? And she's wearing a disguise, and this one girl's like, I'd say she's a shithead. And then she takes off her disguise. She's like, what would you do if I told you I was her? And then she's like, you're a shithead. And I'm like, you know, I'm like, yeah, you got him. That's true.
I do love stuff like that, where it's like
I also
people just double down.
Verbally explaining videos. Very funny and very enjoyable, I'm sure, to listeners. Hey guys, let me just verbally explain something you could just Google. So you're welcome, listeners. I turned off my car and it just got really hot again, so my brain started melting. We were talking about underrated states and how, first of all, like one of my coworkers from Arkansas talked shit about it, as we had before. It just like number one reason is the city names, man. Arkansas's got to work on that.
They really do.
Like if Arkansas wants my respect, it can have it, but first you gotta fix the city names. Arkadelphia has to go.
Arkadelphia really has to go.
Little Rock is on thin ice, but it can stay. And I don't remember all the other ones, but I do remember the one episode looking through the map of Arkansas and making fun of it. The actual like area of Arkansas is not too bad, except for every rest stop. No offense. Every time I've driven through Arkansas, you just try and drive through Arkansas. You don't want to stop. But yeah, like the geography is not bad. It's not like an ugly state or anything. It just needs better city names. Then I'll respect it. But underrated states, Noah, give me 3 that you would say are the most underrated states.
The 3 most underrated states, I would say, the Dakotas. One of the Dakotas might be underrated. Which one doesn't have Mount Rushmore?
North Dakota. but it's got the movie Fargo.
That does have that. See, the
What's
Dakotas
better,
suck.
Mount Rushmore or the movie Fargo?
That's a toughie.
Fargo is way better than Mount Rushmore, not gonna lie.
I don't know, man. Mount Rushmore has National Treasure 2.
Holy shit, never mind.
Exactly. But
I take it all back.
I don't know. I feel like I majorly skip over the Dakotas when I'm thinking of, like, places.
That's true.
And, like, that's probably because they're, like, a winter hellscape. But during when it's actually nice out, they're gorgeous states. You know?
Yeah.
Lots of mountains and such.
Lots of mountains and such.
I don't know. I'm sure Utah's probably a little underrated because I write it off as, like, the Mormon place.
It is the Mormon place, though, to be fair.
It is the Mormon... Yeah, it is true. But I feel like it might be a little unfair to write the entire state off as something that only part of it is.
I believe their state motto is the prettiest snow. I don't know exactly what that means. I've never really seen...
snow, huh?
Yeah, I think it mostly just looks white wherever you go. But,
yeah, that sounds kind of awful, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not a good slogan. I just said it is. I didn't say it was a good one. Poor Utah. Not really. I don't feel bad for them. They got the prettiest snow after all.
I mean, as a Pennsylvanian, and specifically as a Northwest Pennsylvanian, I hate Ohio. But
I think as a human being, everyone hates Ohio.
So I
have found that is not like a Pennsylvania thing. That is like a
good
thing.
To hear, honestly.
People just don't like Ohio.
I don't know why. I know this started out as like underrated states, but now we're just kind of talk about Ohio for a second. What is it about Ohio that makes it just terrible?
I'm in Ohio right now, and I can tell you, sucks.
Yeah, because the only good thing Ohio has going for it is when I'm driving through it and I get to have cheap gas.
It's true, cheap gas, but it does have incredibly high rates of abduction, like in human trafficking.
And what the hell, Ohio? What are you doing?
Well, a lot of it's they're like anywhere where you get close to a border, you get human trafficking spike. Mm-hmm. But something about Ohio, I think it's the Great Lakes are so relatively unpatrolled.
That's true,
like,
honestly.
If you get on a boat and you have a guy waiting for you in Canada, because like you get it, Canada, you don't think human trafficking, but it's kind of just a international business.
Yeah.
You know, it's big everywhere, and you go across Lake Erie and you're in Toronto. Toronto's a huge city. Like, that's the thing. I think people don't realize that Toronto is one of the biggest cities in North America. It's bigger than, it's bigger than Austin, it's bigger than Dallas, it's bigger. I think it's bigger than Houston. I think it's 6.3 million people in the Toronto metro area.
Good Lord.
It's a huge city, and people I feel like forget about Toronto.
I know I do. I never think of Toronto as that big.
And yeah, since any huge city is going to have a demand for, human trafficking, unfortunately. And Ohio is an inconspicuous place. You got Cleveland, and you just go straight across the Great Lakes and you get right into Toronto. So there's little patrolling. People don't necessarily check cargo the way they should. Mm-hmm. You fill up a boat full of whatever you're taking, you take it over to Canada, and all of a sudden, you park it. I'm sure you've been all over, the coastline of Lake Erie, and you've seen all the places where there's no one around because it's in the middle of the woods.
There's so many places where there's no one around.
And maybe you don't dock your boat in Toronto, but you dock it up on the other side of the lake, and so there's a huge human trafficking problem in Ohio. And I don't know why not in other states that are attached to the Great Lakes. Like you'd think like Buffalo, but I think Buffalo is just a little bit too busy. The Ohio. Like, the border between Ohio and Canada is non-existent, so the traffic is non-existent for international travel.
Yeah.
It's weird how that kind of stuff works.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. That is not a happy thing that I've learned.
Plus, Ohio just, generally sucks.
Yeah, definitely.
LeBron James, Kid Cudi, that's all I got. Who else is from Ohio?
I don't know.
I can't say anything else because my door's open and people will beat me up.
That's accurate.
They do love them. They do love the state. But everyone loves their home state.
Well, mostly. Dan does not love his home state.
Dan would not love his home state no matter where he was from.
That's accurate.
It's not a Pennsylvania problem. Most of the time when someone's like, I hate where I'm from, it's not usually because of where they're from. Mm-hmm. At least in my experience. And there's probably people from Arkansas. My coworker from Arkansas thinks highly of it, so maybe I'm wrong. I'd like to be wrong. I'd like Arkansas to be great. I just don't think it is. So underrated states. Let's go back to talking good about states.
Yeah.
I think
let's be positive.
Underrated state. I want to say Vermont.
I was about to say something up in the New England area. I feel like.
And I was thinking New England, and I want to say New Hampshire because it's like the underrated version of Vermont, but it's not as good as Vermont.
Yeah.
No offense, New Hampshire, but Vermont has got the better infrastructure and the better like mountains.
Yeah.
So, and Vermont is pretty highly rated, but not really. Like, no one's going to be like, oh, man, if I could go anywhere in the world, I'd pick Vermont. Because, you know, people think mountains are like Rocky Mountains are the best ones. I mean, for skiing, maybe, but also, I
don't know. I've heard a lot of good things about skiing in Vermont and New Hampshire.
Yeah, people love it. And the Cascades are great, too, up in Pacific Northwest.
There you go.
I think the Rockies just get like a reputation because, I mean, they're so big. It's such a huge range.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely massive.
But, like, people are like, skiing, Colorado. Give Vermont a chance. Ben and Jerry's, come on.
Ben and Jerry's is pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty pricey, though, not gonna lie.
Yeah. It's not one of those things where, like, if I'm feeling like treating myself to a $4 pint of ice cream, then I will. But, like...
Yeah, if you feel like you deserve it,
I have to justify the occasion, you know?
Yeah, it's not like a Tuesday night, you know?
No. Well, it might be a Tuesday night, but I have to have a pretty good reason for it to be a Tuesday. Exactly. This isn't your average run-of-the-mill Tuesday, Jackson. No, this is that kind of Tuesday.
No, I feel that. I gotta say another underrated state. So I'm kind of going regionally here because you can't be like Vermont and New Hampshire because they're right next to each other. Like, maybe they're both underrated, but you can't pick two. You gotta kind of diversify your portfolio of underrated states here.
Oh yeah.
I gotta go middle of the country.
Okay.
And I think I gotta say Montana.
Montana's objectively not in the middle of the country, but continue.
Yeah, but it's like the middle of the country because it's not on the coast.
Okay.
Like everything from like Idaho to Ohio is the middle of the country.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Yeah, like you know, if I was like middle of the country, Oregon, like I will give it to you. Montana is pretty far west, but eastern Montana is pretty far east too. It's a wide boy.
It is a pretty wide boy.
It's probably more west than central, because central you get like the shittiest states, like Kansas.
Yeah, and Arkansas.
Yeah, unfortunate Arkansas. But yeah, that's I say Montana because it's the same boat as Vermont, where it's not hated. No one's like, oh, I hate going to Montana or Vermont. They're like fairly forgettable, but not the maligned states that I think need a little bit more credit. Yeah, like you know, Montana, big sky country, huge, beautiful lakes, great area. And I think that's my pick for underrated as number two. Because again, I think it falls into like the category of those mountain states. When people think of them, they just go immediately Colorado. Colorado gets all the attention there.
That's true.
And a third pick's kind of hard.
Third pick is pretty hard. Let's see.
Because there's so many highly rated states. And there's also a lot of like objectively bad ones.
Maybe Alaska.
No, I feel like Alaska's almost overrated.
You know what? That's actually fair. That's fair.
Yeah, because like people are like, oh, Alaska, land of the free. You get money for living here, which is true. But yeah, I wouldn't say Alaska.
That's fair.
Maybe, I don't know. Again, it's kind of hard. Maybe like Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's the cheese place, though.
Yeah, but like no one would be like, oh, I love Wisconsin, unless they're from there. I guess, you know what, a lot of people do have high opinions who've been there. There's a lot of bad states. I keep like thinking them over. I'm like, Kansas, no, that one's bad. Missouri, not bad, but just like, yeah, no, that's actually bad. Indiana, bad.
What about New Mexico?
What?
What's New Mexico got going on?
Oh, I think what about Mexico? I was like, no, I have some bad for you.
Have a Confederate cross on it.
I don't know, it's a southern state.
Whack. But yeah, go ahead. Something bad to tell me about New Mexico?
Oh, I thought you said, what about Mexico? And I was like, no, that's not ours, actually.
No. I was talking about New Mexico, the better Mexico.
Whoa, I mean, I don't know. I've never been to either.
I've never been to either either. It's probably not the better Mexico.
They do have sopapillas from New Mexico, though. So those are really good. They're like, it's like a pastry. Really good. Really good stuff.
Has it has like twice the population of Wyoming.
Yeah, but Wyoming, bad.
What is Wyoming? Like, what do they have going on?
Wyoming's neat in that it's empty, but I'd say it's worse emptiness than like Montana's emptiness, because Montana's also hella empty for like per square mile. So I think Wyoming's emptiness is cool, but it gets overshadowed by other empty states.
Yeah, because Montana has 1 million people in it. Wyoming has 570,000.
Yeah.
That's absurd. Vermont has more than that. Rhode Island is...
How many people in Montana? Tiny. What'd you say it was? 1 million? What? Just like around 1 million even? Okay.
Yeah.
A cool mill.
Because there's not a lot of states that have less than 1 million people in them, you know?
No, there really isn't.
And there's no other states that drop below 6 or 7, according to
Yeah, Wyoming is notoriously the most the least populous state.
Interesting.
It's kind of like that thing.
I honestly never heard that.
Yeah, but you didn't know Wyoming was the least populated?
No, learn something new every day.
Yeah, I remember it being a thing because they only have as many congressmen as they do senators.
Oh my gosh.
I actually don't know how many. I think that 570 seems like a lot more than they had just a couple years ago. Maybe Wyoming's the next place to be. Maybe it's underrated, and I just don't. It's so underrated, I don't even know it's underrated.
It might be, honestly. You never know.
It's true. I think my third pick goes to West Virginia.
I was wondering if you were going to say anything about West Virginia.
Yeah, because West Virginia is bad, but it's really pretty and it's really nice. And honestly, Charleston's a dope city. I spent a good bit of time there, and I've always had a good time. I've never been disappointed or mad. The people are generally whatever, But yeah, I think West Virginia might be underrated because of how much it's hated. People always think West Virginia like, oh, West Virginia, they suck. You guys gotta remember, man, West Virginia gets a little bit of street cred for leaving Virginia because they wanted to be part of the North in the Civil War.
Yeah.
Sure, West Virginia has a lot of hicks, but at one point in time, West Virginia was the smart ones. They were like, yo, we don't want slavery. So shout out to West Virginia.
Yeah, I respect it.
Those are my picks. No, I think we should end the episode because I'm dying in my car right now.
Yeah, I don't want you to die. I would rather you survived.
I only got a little bit of time left. It's been nice knowing you.
Nah, it's okay. We'll record a special outro where it's the post-credit scene where Dan lifts himself out of the rubble and he's like, guys, I've made it. Guys, hello. And then, that'll be it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. So yeah, I think I've already plugged everything I have as well as Audible during that podcast. I don't think I followed Tumblr. My Tumblr is a Turning Point USA.
Good title.
So follow it and get the attention of the real organization of dumbasses and see if maybe they'll call me out one day. Who knows? It'll be fun.
You never know.
Noah, where can they find you?
Find me as Bubba the Bad, BUBBADABAD. I'm on Tumblr too. I don't do much with it, but I'm on it.
And where can they find the podcast?
Podcast is twitter.com/theofftheair, facebook.com/OTA podcast, and patreon.com/offtheair. I don't think we have any, I don't think we have any new patrons today. And we don't have any new reviews or anything like that on iTunes, which you can also hop on there and give us a review to, give us a 5-star, say a nice thing, let people know that we're worth listening to.
It's true. You can do that.
You can. That's about all I've got, though.
Same.
Yeah. Jackson, thank you for dying in your car for me.
It's okay. This will be the first of many over the next 2.5 months before I get Wi-Fi.
There we go. Hopefully soon it cools down so you can just be freezing in your car. That's a lot easier to work with.
Thank God. That'd be great. I can turn my car back on now. Oh.
All right, here we go. Gonna record a podcast. Going in with my friends, Jackson and Noah. We're gonna do a podcast here. Got my water. All right, guys. Good. Guys. Hello. Wow. You gotta move and they just forget you.